All right, what's going on, guys? So today's leg day. I have my workout split up for 4 days. Mondays are, kind of more chest related. I throw in some other accessory work in there also. Tuesdays is designated back days, Wednesdays is shoulders, and Thursdays is legs. I save Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for kind of more of a, what some people would consider to be active recovery. So that could be, with the weather getting nicer, going, for a walk with the family. Sometimes I just come in here and I'll just row on a light damper setting, not really pushing for any type of specific, distance or really any specific time, just kind of going through the motion of just, working and just kind of keeping your body nice and loose. And then I have a kind of one of those small Amazon special steam saunas right here behind the camera. So I use that fairly regularly also as kind of more of a recovery, just kind of keep the body nice and loose. So today we already did the warm-up, which was a 5-minute row, which is consistent with most of my warm-ups. The foam roller, just kind of hitting from top to bottom everywhere, but the neck, the lower back, and don't do over joints or anything like that. Already did my GHDs, ball rotations, which I have a 20-pound medicine ball, so you can do that seated. You can do it kneeling, one knee forward, so do it 20 one way, and then rotate your knees and do 20 another way, just to kind of work on that balance. And then resistance bands, the tight ones you just put around your legs, did a bunch of lateral style work, kickbacks, just to get the hips firing, because it is leg day. And then groin holds, which you can do on a bench. And that's just where you put one leg on top of the bench, one up underneath it, and you hold yourself up. And that's just to kind of keep your body nice and straight and put some tension. In the groin area, I have issues with that due to an injury that I've stated in a previous video. So that's kind of an area I don't think will ever be 100% for me, as it was never fully rehabilitated to 100%, but I have strengthened it. I do legs. This has been since 2014 that this all happened, so I just kind of deal with it, work around it as you can. So the workout, it is lightweight, higher reps, so we're just going to go with 135 pounds, 3x12, and then we're going to superset that with a 3x20 box jumps, just using regular body weight, no weight vests or anything like that. And then rest, once we've done our 3 sets of each, we'll rest for a short period. We'll do barbell rear lunges. You can do forward or back. I tend to like rear lunges more than forward. I do rotate different, lunging forward and back, just because it is going to kind of work different muscles and kind of helps with the overall balance. Bench tricep dips, and then resistance band tricep pull downs, which is just one of these bad boys, which are just great, just to keep the triceps firing and all that stuff. And then from there we'll go into core and we'll wrap it up and we'll be done. So yeah, let's get after it. And with this, you can, your first set, you can kind of keep, slow and controlled, just to kind of get everything going. And also remember that your strength is built in the eccentric phase of a lift. And that's like in the back into the resting length. I think I'm on 4. Oops. take this off. I'll just stick her right there for right now. And then with this, you can take, you know, kind of however long you want to rest. Watch says that my heart rate is about 150 right now. So I try to kind of keep it in that more of that zone 2 kind of area, which is kind of like 130 to just under 160. You know, you start kind of hitting that 160, you start kind of breaking over into your zone 3. And then I try to let it drop back down below 120. One of the nice thing is too is I like throwing in kind of more of like some plyometrics, like box jumps. If you're new to box jumps and you don't feel confident in jumping up, a lot of people don't. They don't think that they can make it. This is only a 16-inch box on the side that it is. This does 16, 24, I think 20. So 16 is good. If you're not confident in, like I said, doing the box jump, like jumping on, you can do box step downs. So basically, you get on the box and you just step down and land kind of gently. Being new to plyometrics, you don't want to do it every day. If you haven't really been somebody that's really worked in a lot of impact style type training, you could potentially pop your Achilles if you haven't built that strength up yet. So as you get into plyometrics, it's kind of more of a slow progression as you go from more easy style plyometrics into more advanced, which is, you know, jumping up onto a box, or, you know, going from a step down to a squat, you know, into a squat and then jumping. So you're loading as you step off and land, and then you're jumping. So, you know, you have to take it easy. Plyometrics, you know, works in all different planes of motion too. So, you know, it's not just forward and back. Plyos can be like the ski jumps, things like that. So just be cautious. You know your limits, know your athletic abilities. Don't wind up trying to do something that you're just not conditioned to do yet, doesn't mean that you won't get there. But fitness is, it's kind of like the tortoise and the hare, you know. You can going slow and progressing over time is better than thinking you're just going to jump into it, because that's when all those wonderful injuries happen. So, all right, let's get back to it. We're going to do it this way this time. Oh, man, my shoulders are tight today. Don't know why, but they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh yeah. It's generally not authorized to lift, step out of it, step back in. It's not usually safe, but we break the rules around here. Now we rest. This sickness is kicking my butt. My recovery is so slow right now. Probably not recommended to, be pushing yourself too hard, but you know what? You'll get over it eventually, right? Oh. One thing I've noticed about the fitness culture, the fitness world right now, is there's so many young people who are pushing some of the craziest things when it comes to exercise. And, there's different ways to train. You can train like a bodybuilder, or you can train like an athlete. Young men, especially. I know I talk about young people a lot because, well, me and whoever watches this, we've all, that's a man. We've all been young. We've all wanted to be the strongest. We felt that, we've got this ego. And as you start to get older and you start to realize that, the way that you used to train as a bodybuilder, you'll wake up and you'll be like, man, I kind of ache, I hurt. And the thing about training as a bodybuilder is you're training in really just kind of a more focused, tight kind of motion. You're not hitting all the different ways that our body moves. And that's why, when you start to realize that, you can be strong and athletic at the same time. You may sacrifice a little bit of strength to train more athletic, be more mobile, be more agile, which is a big deal, especially when you're, going through life. Walk outside when it's icy, and you have terrible balance because you're not, you don't have that quickness. You don't have that ability to stabilize your body properly. You fall, you eat it, get hurt. If you're older, blow out a hip. You may never walk again. And it's pretty much just, at that point, life goes downhill from there. You're stationary, body just breaks down, and, it's sad. It's a sad thing to watch that happen to people. So, I'd rather be functionally fit than super strong nowadays. It just fits my lifestyle better. So, all right. Let's do this. Woo-wee. Just gonna put that right back there so we don't sweat on it. All right. And also, as you squat, you can go wide, you can go close, hits different parts. You can squat deep if you want. Woo-wee. All right. 20. Hoo-wee. That's brutal. Oh, gosh. So now we rest. Probably take a couple minute rest here. All right, so now we're into the second part of this workout, which is going to be the barbell lunges, 3x12, which I think, this is what I will do. I usually, by 3x12, it's technically 6 each leg, so a set of 12 total. And we're just gonna stick to 135 pounds. So let's go and do it. Had to ditch the sweatshirt. Man, it was hot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, oops, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh yeah. Take a little breather here, and we'll do her again. Woo-wee. So my goal with kind of recording my exercises and everything like that is to kind of start getting into more of the, I guess you could say, more of the educational part of the lifting. I'm not really sure how I want to approach it, since I'm not somebody who goes off of any type of script. I come in the morning, I grab my little whiteboard here, and I sit down. Obviously, my workouts are broken up into specific muscle groups for the week, and I sit down real quick, write, leg day and any little accessory things that I like to do, and then whatever that week is. So whether it's a heavy week or more of like an strength endurance style week, I'll kind of, work my workouts out that way. So kind of coming in and maybe trying to, when it's chest day, explaining the lift, why you would want to do it that way, maybe other ways to do it if you have certain type of injuries that may kind of interfere with your ability to be able to do it, the specific, more natural way. Especially when it comes to more older people, they tend to need a little bit more of a, I guess you could say, more safety related, with potentially having weak bones and things like that. So, but we'll see. It's kind of not really my wheelhouse to be a teacher, so it's kind of new to me. But I have noticed at least content that I enjoy when it comes to fitness. I'm not big into just the dudes who, are in their garage freaking slamming stuff around and breaking shit and doing stupid, obnoxious things. I tend to flock more towards the people who try to explain why it is that they do it a certain way, or why, they may feel this may be better for somebody with, this specific type of training that they're trying to accomplish, or somebody that maybe is new. So there's great resources out there, and might as well work on becoming another great resource. I've been doing this for 20 years now. Started when I was 15 years old. So I think I can say that I have some decent knowledge, and my rights and my wrongs, things I've learned to do, things I've learned not to do. Oops. 1. My legs are going to be cooked today. 3. 'I think that was 12. somebody I really enjoy watching on YouTube is Phil Daru, or Daru Strong on YouTube. He's an amazing coach. I love his training style. Kind of stumbled across him, I want to say a few months ago. And I didn't really spend a whole lot of time watching his videos for no other reason than I think I saw one that said like MMA style fitness, and I don't do MMA, so I kind of veered away from it. One day stumbled across it again, and regardless of whether it was for MMA or not, you know, the training style was for more of that athleticism, and I like it. I like his videos. I love the way that he explains the workouts, the hows, the whys, how to execute, and for anybody that's just looking for good quality educational content, it's got a good flow to the video, not like my videos, which are a little choppy because I'm obviously pretty new to this. Check him out. He's solid. All right, let's do this. Last set. Last set. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wheeze, boys and girls. My legs were feeling that. All right. Now for the fun stuff. The dips, baby. All right. Take a little breather here. All right, now it's time for the bench tricep dips. These are fun. I prefer these over doing the actual dip machine, just because I feel like it puts a little bit more, doing actual dips on the actual dip is, I think it just stresses my pecs a little too much. I don't feel like I actually activate my triceps as much. This, really helps kind of put that all together for me. So something, if you struggle with your tricep strength, give it a go. All right. You just want your hands to kind of sit just right outside your hips a little bit. You don't want to go too wide. In other words, shoulder width apart. And you can, if you have trouble, you can sit with your legs like this and do it. I prefer to kind of sit on my heels. Keep your back pretty close to the bench itself. We're just going to do 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Can't remember if I said I was going to do 12 or 20. I did 20. So, and then take a little break here. When you breathe, always try to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Something I've been really trying to work on lately is build a more consistent breathing. One thing I've never really been good at, you know, like everybody else, you just breathe. Whether you're running, or doing anything, most of us just breathe through our mouths. But that doesn't help you recover as quickly, so it can actually hinder your performance slightly. All right. Let's do this. These workouts won't work themselves. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, baby. Now, this total workout, to include my warm-up that I did, so 5 minutes on the rower, and then a couple of the other things, I'm at 1 hour and 16 minutes. Now, that could be too long for some people, but you can alter these however you want. You can make it go faster by having less rest periods. I wouldn't have as many rest periods if I wasn't sick, or not as long, I guess you could say. But because I am sick, my body is very much exhausted very quickly right now. I'm hoping that going into next week, I will feel like $1 million. Fingers crossed, because I do not feel like feeling gassed. Like I just ran 4 miles at a 8:30, 9-minute pace. And that's kind of how I feel right now. All right, let's go. Ooh, baby. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's move this out of the way here. A little sip of water. All right. Now, when you think of like a tricep pull down, this is no different than if you were doing it like on a cable machine, except for, on a cable machine, you can be like a lot closer because you have a little arm that kind of hangs out. This is a little bit harder, so just kind of stand away from it. The more you choke up on the band itself, the more resistance you'll get. So just kind of find, if you do buy something like this, just find where you got the resistance that you're looking for. I'm not looking for anything crazy. This is I can't remember what, a 20 to 60 pound resistance band. So I'm not doing anything crazy. This is just to kind of focus. Triceps are such an important muscle. One of the things you'll notice about older people, and when they're trying to get themselves up out of a chair, it's not so much their hips that are super, super weak, but it's also the fact that they can't even push themselves up to get their hips elevated to get up out of a chair. And that's where a lot of old people will spend their time as they get older, sitting, and they'll have their hands sitting like this, which contracts the bicep, lengthens your tricep, and you don't use it, it gets really weak. And just because the bicep's contracted doesn't mean that the bicep is stronger than the tricep. It just means that they don't have the ability to fully extend themselves and push themselves up because it is so weak. And if you can't get up, chances are you won't be able to get up to go to the bathroom in time. If you're alone, or if you fall, you can't even push yourself up off the ground, and you'll lay there in your feces. It's sad. Letting yourself go that way it's not good. Whether you want to work out because you think you want to look a certain way, or you just want to work out because of your quality, you want to maintain a quality of life. Pick your choice, pick your reason, and just do it. Also, when you do these, the triceps, keep your elbows kind of close, a slight bend in your waist, nothing super drastic, kind of a little bend in your knees, whatever. I always call it like an athletic stance where you kind of got a little bend, a little spring. And just start here kind of at 90, bring it down, and kind of roll your wrists back so you get kind of a little bit more extension there. And then another big thing is a lot of people that work in construction won't go to the gym because they will say, well, I work in construction. I lift heavy shit all day. That is true. I've also worked in construction. And I can tell you one thing from that. Most of those guys have bad shoulders because they only lift things in one direction. They're not hitting all different parts of their shoulders. They're not strengthening their backs properly. They're not doing anything but moving weight. Just because you're moving weight does not mean that you're healthy, right? There's a ton of really big, chubby, strong construction workers, but they're not healthy. They ache, they hurt. I ached every day because you're working in weird conditions, weird areas, moving heavy things in very awkward, unnatural ways. And so if you don't work out outside of your job, even if you work construction, you will start to have muscle imbalances, which those muscle imbalances you won't notice because you have what's called synergistic muscles will kind of help to compensate for the movement, but that's where the pain generally comes from, is those smaller muscles that aren't designed to be like full-on load-bearing are taking on a lot more work than what they're designed to do. Eventually, they'll give out. All right, let's finish this up. No more talking. 2, 3. A little bit tighter here. All right. That's a wrap. That's kind of my leg day. I still have core to do, but I'll throw that in more of an active recovery video, I think. But yeah, hopefully you guys are getting your workout in today. No better day to start exercising than today.